Alright guys, we're here to make some chocolate chip cookies. I already actually made a batch last night and then left it in the fridge because they do have to stay in the fridge either for about 3 to 4 hours or overnight. So I'm going to take those out first and we're going to let those set for about 10 minutes while we're making the dough for the rest of the cookies. So you do want them to be a little undercooked or to look like they're undercooked because like I said, they're going to bake. These are going to bake for an additional 10 minutes.
They look amazing. What are those things you're using?
These are my baking stones. So this is the bar pan that I got a couple weeks ago. Pretty excited about those.
What about your lobster hands?
My oven mitts. These are my silicone oven mitts. I love these guys. Make it a lot easier to grasp things as I'm taking them out of the oven. And obviously, love Pampered Chef, and I'm a Pampered Chef consultant, so that's what I love to do. So first, we're gonna get 2 1/4 cups of flour. And I forgot my siphon bowl, but it's all right. And what I've already done is I have my 2 eggs out because you want them to be room temperature. And I did this the wrong side, but that's okay. So this whole thing is 2 cups. And then it's a lot easier just to put down a 1/4 cup here. And do the same thing for our 1/4. It's okay to get a little messy. All right. So next we need a teaspoon of baking soda. And 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1½ teaspoons of cornstarch, which is what makes it so soft and fluffy. So we'll just do, these are my adjustable measuring spoons, so I can just use the same one throughout here. There's 1. And then we'll just adjust this to 1/2. And then 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I am making a mess here, but that's my favorite way to cook. I would say it's because I don't have to do all the cleanup, but I do, so I don't know what my problem is. All right, so we're just gonna whisk all of this together, which is pretty quick. And then we're gonna do our butter and sugars next in a separate bowl.
Because you're supposed to keep your dries and your wet separated, right?
Yeah, so we're gonna do the butter, the sugar, that comes into like almost like a paste, and we're gonna do the eggs and the egg yolks. Bear with me. All right, we'll just use, you don't have to follow me, Brittany. I'll just use one of my heavy bowls. All right, so the butter I melted, and then you let it set at room temperature for a little bit so it cools down just a little. And then we're going to add the brown sugar. 1 second. I like to use my hands in here. All right. Thought I saw something. So we're going to use the brown sugar. You can use either light or dark brown sugar. Lately I've been using the dark brown sugar.
What's the difference? Is the darker sweeter, maybe? Huh. I didn't even know light.
2 different kinds?
Yeah.
Growing up, I thought we always used dark brown sugar, but then after I looked at the 2 bags, I'm thinking that we actually used the light brown sugar. But, all right, so it's going to be 3/4 cup of the brown sugar. I'll just use my wooden spoon to spoon this out. And a little side note, if you don't have a brown sugar keeper, to keep your brown sugar light and fluffy, you can actually microwave it. So I had some brown sugar that was hard. Don't throw it away. You can just put it in the microwave for a bit and it will soften it up for you and make it still usable. So It is still much easier to just have soft brown sugar though. And it is supposed to be packed, so it's nice and lots of brown sugar. I'm doing a real good job. Nobody can see me pouring the brown sugar on my hands.
Well, we can specifically see you doing it because it's on camera.
Oh, right. That's all right. All right, so 3/4 cup of that, and then we'll do a 1/2 cup of regular sugar. Make this a little bit easier. I might just grab this something easy to pull it out with. Or Whisk. All right.
What's that?
Sugar.
How much sugar?
Yep, just regular.
How much sugar are we using?
1/2 cup.
1/2 cup.
All right, and that's the last we'll need for those kinds of instruments. I'm just going to use my whisk again. So if you see, you just want to get the brown sugar and the butter until all the brown sugar lumps are out. And then I found yesterday, if you do the butter first, it makes it less, it mixes better, and it takes less time to mix. All right, so I just get in there. All right. So like I said, you just don't want any lumps. Nothing like biting into a cookie and just getting a mouthful of sugar. I mean, there's probably some of us that like that, but others may not.
If it was brown sugar, I'd be down.
Yeah. All right. So next we're gonna put in 1 whole egg. And then we're gonna whisk that in first. And then once that's all together, we'll whisk in the egg yolk. All right, so what I have is an old tool from Pampered Chef, an egg separator, but you could use any other way that you can separate an egg yolk from the egg whites.
Because you only want the yellow part is what you're using?
Yeah. All right. All right, you can see still makes it a little bit thicker than when you put in a whole egg. All right, so then next after this, we were gonna do 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I'm looking forward to, I'm gonna buy the double strength vanilla from Pampered Chef next. That's my next order, but for now, I have the regular vanilla extract. And I'm gonna still continue to stick with my same measure-all. I like this 1 measuring spoon for the whole recipe, just like it was 1 measuring cup. Okay. So we'll just mix this together. Oh, nothing like the smell of brown sugar, vanilla, and butter.
And now you mix that in still with the wet one. Okay.
So this is just going to go straight into the dry mix. So we won't need the whisk anymore. Just get that in there. This is where I get a little aggressive when I'm mixing things. So I'm gonna try not to get aggressive because that will make flour and salt go everywhere. So it would probably been better to do that with a scraper, but making do with what I have today. All right, so then this is the last step until we fold in the chocolate chips. And then what I like to do, because the first time I did it, I put it in the refrigerator and it got hard and it got really difficult to form into balls and then to get them onto the cookie tray. So I learned that if before I do that, I roll them into balls when they're soft, then I can just take them out and they're already in balls, and I just have to let them cool for a little bit before I put them on the cookie tray, and it's easy peasy. So today we're gonna make it with regular chocolate chips and then also espresso chocolate chips. The cookies that I made last night were just all regular chocolate chips, but I'm pretty excited about the espresso chips because I love coffee and I love chocolate, so it only makes sense to combine the two, right?
Yes.
Right. You know, my natural instinct right now is to just get my hands in there and mix it with my fingers. It would probably be easier, but I also don't like getting my hands dirty like that, so, and we're about to do that anyways when we make the cookie balls, so, all right. Still getting stuff everywhere. Okay, so then that's our cookie dough.
There's some down in this corner.
Some powdered sugar. Well, we're about to mix the chocolate chips in there too, so
Oh, okay. We'll keep mixing.
yeah, it's a process. They're worth it though, trust me. All right, I said we were gonna need our measuring cup, but I completely forgot about the chips. Sorry. It happens. It's part of being in the kitchen. Okay, so we're gonna do.
All you seen on camera was you throw a paper towel. It looked like you just threw it against the wall.
We're gonna ignore what I actually just did with the paper towel, which was throw it at my dogs. All right. So we're gonna do 3/4 cup of regular chocolate chips. I don't know, Brandon, do you think we should do more espresso chocolate chips or more semi-sweet chocolate chips?
I've never, let me try one of the espressos and see how potent they are. I've never had one before.
They're pretty good. There's
That's a
more
lot.
than pretty good, yeah?
Yes.
3/4 cup of those and 1/2 cup of the semi-sweets.
Yeah. Yeah, because they are really,
They're rich.
they're good.
And then, I don't know, growing up, I always cooked with semi-sweet. My mom, that's how she always did it. I know that some people like to do it with milk chocolate, but to be honest, growing up, I never knew there was such a thing as milk chocolate chips. I only knew of semi-sweet. So, all right, so 1/2 cup, then we'll do this one.
Ooh-wee. This is where you build them muscles.
Oh yeah. It's okay though. All right. Oh man, it looks like a lot of chocolate chips, and it probably is a lot of chocolate chips, but let's be real. Chocolate chip cookies mean the first word in there is chocolate chip, so that means that we should have lots of chocolate
That's 2
chips.
words. The first 2 words would be chocolate.
Well, I meant the first ingredient. It's fine. I can't do math and cooking at the same time.
Doesn't cooking involve a lot of math?
Brandy? It's a good thing I love you.
At least it all turns out delicious. I have no complaints as to how you get there.
That's right. Maybe I shouldn't be allowed to talk while I do anything, to be honest, because
No, you're
I don't know what I'm saying half the time. All right, so I'm just going to take my baking stones. I already have a few cookies left from what I was making yesterday. So I refrigerated these. It makes about 16 cookies. They're pretty big cookies too. Let's not drop my baking stone. I love cooking on the baking stone because it cooks them consistently, so they get that nice brown on the bottom and cooked all the way consistently through. So this is 8 cookies, and then that one was 3, 6, 9, 11. So this batch made 19 cookies. I don't know how that worked out, but it did. So I just have it set to 325. And we're going to do it for about 15 minutes. All right, so while that's going, I'm going to make these ones into little balls, and we'll put them in the refrigerator for a few nights or overnight. So it says the ball should be about 3 tablespoons. So I just use my scooper and I form them into balls, and then I put them in that bowl. And you saw how easy it was to just take them out and put them on the tray. So it's about 1.5 scoops is what I found. Yeah, so we'll just make lots of these little cookie balls, and then we'll put them in the fridge, and then they'll be ready for tomorrow. But for now, because I think it has been 10 minutes, we'll go ahead and take the cookies. I'll show you how warm and gooey and perfect they are. So I'll show you right now. Nice. So here's one. You can see how beautiful they are.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
They're just so cakey and doughy and beautiful, and Brandy wants one already right now. All right, so that's my video. I hope you guys enjoy it.